Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So, today's video is going to be a weather video, and I say that because I will say something in a minute, but I will be talking about the long range again. Many people are talking about it being boring, and if you look at it overall from a quick view, yeah, it's pretty boring, nothing going on, but there's a few interesting things you can find here and there, like how there's barely any snowfall going on right now, and how several locations aren't going to see any snow where they should be seeing snow. So several interesting locations like that, or several interesting facts like that. But another thing I would like to talk about is the potential, or at this point, the likelihood that I will be uploading gardening videos to this channel, as well as meteorology videos. So if you're subscribed to this channel, don't unsubscribe, because the weather videos are still gonna be on this channel. I will be doing them as frequently as possible, so basically a regular schedule. I have been a little bit less active lately, but that is because I've been busy, not because of less, and there's not been much going on across the weather. But I will be uploading weather videos. But I will also be adding, especially for the next couple of years, during the gardening season, which is in spring and summer and fall, I will be adding more gardening videos. So, if you like gardening, stay subscribed. If you like weather, stay subscribed, because I will be doing both of these on this channel. And I just wanted to combine them. I didn't want to have a whole separate channel for gardening, so I will be adding gardening videos to this. So get ready tomorrow at around, so I'm recording this, it's around 11 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. This video, a gardening video, will go public on Wednesday, March 20th, 2019, and the video that was actually recorded for that gardening video, this is important if you're gonna watch that video. That video was recorded a year ago, and it was about this little apple tree. So the first video is about an apple tree grown from seeds, obviously, and it's basically showing you the methods of how to check your viability of your seeds and how to plant them and how to choose the right apple. That's still valid for whatever year. Then we move on into the actual apple growing, and that's called part 2, and then part 3 will be uploaded sometime later on. But the difference between that is that there's a whole year gap between that. But I still have that same apple that's in part 2, still have that tree, and we'll be giving you updates on that throughout the summer. So just saying, I will be adding gardening videos. But let's go into weather. So right now we're looking at, let's just go back to the old old run of the GFS. And by the way, I did get a coloring tool, or like a drawing tool, so let's see how this works. But right now, not too much going on. We have a clipper sort of system coming from Manitoba. This is going to be Saskatchewan, I'm fairly sure, because this is British Columbia, Alberta. Okay, no, that's going to be Manitoba. So it's from Manitoba, a little low. It combines with the system that's coming from the south. A little bit of snow with that, maybe in Michigan, southern Canada, like right here in Toronto area. Toronto's over here, but maybe Sarnia getting a little bit of snow, some Halifax getting also a little bit of snow from this. And this doesn't evolve into a big system. You could see maybe produces a little bit of snow and rain for the northeast, mainly rain. And that's the interesting with this thing is, guys, this pattern that we'll be looking at a lot of rain compared to snow ratios. I mean, the west will be seeing quite a bit of snow, but that's because they usually see snow in this time of the year. March 23rd is by no means, a snowless season for these areas. Here in the Yellowstone, they'll be seeing a lot of snow in the next several days. Grand Tetons as well. Let's see where else. The Rockies, the Front Range of the Rockies, not the Front Range, but the Colorado Rockies. That's the best way to put them. The Cascades will also be seeing quite a bit of snow, and the Sierra Nevada will be again seeing more snow. So, yes, there's still snow to come. So if you're going for, a spring vacation, a spring break into, say, the west for snowmobiling, snow skiing, snowboarding, you will be seeing plenty of snow, because there is plenty of snow and there will be snow to come. But notice how this is Sunday, Saturday, we see a system move out into the Midwest with very warm air, but there could be a cold front rather powerful up to the north, which could deliver snow to the Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, which then drags into the south, could bring a dusting of snow as far south as Ohio, Indiana, central Indiana, and into the northeast. that, the snow potential is definitely still there. We're not in late spring or summer. We're still in early spring. And, well, it depends. Meteorologically, we're in early spring. Astronomically, Wednesday, March 20th is the first day. So tomorrow, as I'm recording it, is the first day of meteorological spring, or when it starts at 4:58 p.m. And the first full day will be Thursday, March 21st. But after that, you can see they're even showing some snow here in South Carolina. That's actually possible because with these strong cold fronts during the spring, we could be seeing some snow get down into the Carolinas. Definitely not a big accumulating event, just some snow showers, but this is still far out, so we'll just have to see how that pans out. But what it seems to be is a cool down for sure, and I was advertising this in my long-range outlook last time. A fairly significant cool down will occur across the country Wednesday, Tuesday of next week, though it won't be bitter cold. It will just be fairly chilly compared to what we've been seeing, which is above average and fairly chilly for, again, this time of the year. So then we start seeing another surge of warm air. You can see that marked by these lines right here. See that 546 line, the 540, which is typically the freezing line during the winter, is up here. So anything right in here is above average, and this is pushing in this direction right there. As we go forward in time, we see, let's click on hour 222 since this got stuck. We see in time, we see another system with a potentially very similar thing going on, an air mass pushing pushing the storm to the south and then back to the north as this moves up. So very interesting in my opinion. I find these things very fascinating because look at this. So we see this little system go on, fairly normal, just a system going up to the north, producing a regular spring storm. But then we see this system, it initially starts moving up to the north, but this air mass is so strong here across Canada and the provinces of Canada. They will, the cold air manages to shove the storm, which is fairly strong. Spring storms are fueled by the Gulf of Mexico moisture and the Pacific moisture. They have a fairly strong drive towards the north and northeast. This is strong enough to basically stop this low from moving and pushing it to the south and east, which could cause some of this changeover to ice and snow across the North Carolina area and South Carolina around that March 27th time frame, which I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's definitely a possibility. And then we see very chilly air for this time. You can see right there, and marked by those blue lines, the 540 and the pressure readings. We see another storm come out, and this one also gets pushed to the south, but then that air mass kind of weakens and it manages to go up to the north. So let's look at the actual temperatures. 2-meter temperature shaded, and let's go to what this tells you, what the actual temperatures will be during what period of time. And anything that's blue or darker in color, that is below 32 degrees. So right now, scattered frost during the day, not much. During the nights, gets down a little bit chillier. It gets, gets a little bit cooler, but still not awfully bad. What am I doing here? Okay, so during the days, it's around 50s, 40s, 60s across most of the country. The further south you get, maybe some 70s. Further north, maybe some 30s, even some 20s. And then during the nights, obviously the frosts do come back. That's not out of the question. It's not it's not a record-breaking spring in terms of warmth. It's just a slightly above average at this moment. And then you could see that we do see a warming. We might see a little push of air into the weekend, into the northeast. We see a warming pattern. Look at that. Just before this bitter cold air mass comes in, we see 50s and 60s spread out across the United States, and then look at that, just crashes it. These temperatures are going to be fighting. Look at that, 60s, 70s potentially in New York, Pennsylvania, while they are struggling to fight with this really strong cold air mass, which on Monday, March 25th, will be actually the highs. These will be the high temperatures during the day. And during the nights, look at that, that's going to be bone-chilling temperatures. So very chilly air. And look how far south the 32-degree line gets. I think this is the farthest it will get in the next, for this season, basically. I think that's done, but very chilly, a little bit concerning. The GFS is very strong with this, very strong indices of this blast of cold air. But it's, I definitely would not say that this is set in stone. This could still definitely change, but it quickly moves out. At least the bitter cold temperatures for this time of year, bitter cold in that, if you will want to, if you want to classify it as bitter cold. But during the nights, though, the temperatures definitely still dive back into the 20s and 30s for the country. But then you can see it warms up very quickly, and we see 40s and 50s back again on track, while a second push of cold air tries making its way, but it'll be just a fighting. It'll just be a fight between these two air masses. These cold pushes and these warm pushes of air will just be from the south. The warm pushes, and the north, the cold pushes will just be fighting out. So in my opinion, it's a very interesting pattern, and it's actually fascinating. So enjoy what we can. Many people don't like the weather that's going on right now because it's kind of a transition period. But during these transition periods, we could see quite a bit of interesting weather, like those storms that initially go to the northeast, get pushed down, and then go back up. You don't see that often. In terms of the 6 to 10 day outlook, March 25th through 29th, so that's from Monday through about Thursday, we see above average for the west, a little bit below average across the east. You can see the Climate Prediction Center is not necessarily buying into this too much. If this was the GFS, solely off the GFS, this would be much below for this whole half of this country. It's just slightly below in the northeast, so they're still not confident about that. The GFS is fairly vigorous about that. And above average precip, maybe a little bit drier towards the northeast and a little bit wetter towards California. 8 to 14 day outlook, we actually see the role switch. We see a little above towards the northeast and midwest, and a little bit below across the west, and we still continue an above average pattern with fairly active storm systems. So again, I will be adding gardening videos to this channel, so stay tuned for that. Don't unsubscribe. This will be still again, like I mentioned, weather videos will still be on this channel regularly, so consider subscribing, consider liking the video. Catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.